I bring greetings to all of you from Prashanti Kudiram near Bangalore. We have a nice 100-acre campus where we have our university, as also a treatment center called Arogyadham. We don't call a hospital, we call a holistic health home. And the inspiration for this university and the movement is the great Master Swami Vivekananda, who heralded the grandeur of Indian wisdom base in the United States in 1893. You know the date? September 11th, the 9/11. Is it not a strange coincidence that after exactly 108 years, we had the big 9/11 in the WTC? What is the significance of that? Would imagine. Let's have a prayer for him and also our great masters from Vivekananda. Namah Shri Atirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine Tapaharine Tapaharine. Today I captioned my talk as New Paradigms in Health, Illness to Wellness and Beyond. And we also offer our prayers to great sage Patanjali, who brought this holistic wisdom-based yoga to us in 900 BC, according to Max Muller, about 3,000 years back. Many of you know this, you can add. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya ja vaidyakena yopakarottam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi. For his three great contributions by Patanjali, we offer our salutations. What are the contributions? Yoga for the mastery over the mind, Yogena Chittas, and for giving us the great grammar, Patanjali Mahabhashya, on the grammar of Sanskrit, to cleanse our speech, Padena Vacham, and to overcome the different diseases, to remove the dirt in the body. He gave the science of Ayurveda. Balam Sharirasya ja Vaidyakena, the doctor. That great personality who brought such three great contributions, we offer our salutations. That's the day when India rose to great heights once again. So Vivekananda's very famous epoch-making speech brought out the essence of our Indian wisdom base. What is health? It is not merely absence of a disease. If I don't have a disease, it doesn't mean that I am very healthy, I am perfect health. It's a state of well-being. It's a state of well-being at the physical, mental, social and spiritual levels. This is the definition given by the World Health Organization, and not merely absence of illness or infirmity. If I plot that, the plot of the state of health and the state of well-being, that's the curve that we get, I call it as a health line. And this is the region of normal health. We are all generally here. And what should be the objective of any healthcare system? To see that we prevent getting down to illnesses, prevent diseases, to promote positive health, move towards perfect health. That should be the real goal of any healthcare delivery system. But when you look at the entire country, entire world, what are we doing? How much of money we spend for the purpose of developing positive health, perfect health and to prevent diseases? Less than 1%. All the money that we spend essentially to deal with the illnesses. We build skyscraper hospitals. We build specialists and super specialists and super specialists, all to deal with the illness. Therefore, how can you think of a healthy society? We are dealing with an illness society. Therefore, we have to rethink and probably redirect ourselves towards the prevention of diseases, promotion of positive health. Therefore, I have been pleading in the Planning Commission in India that our health budget should have a good sum for the prevention. Unfortunately, this time from 1% they have raised it to 8%. And that is the growth that is coming up in India. The modern health hazards have really posed the biggest challenge to us. While modern medical system gave us tremendous dividends in dealing with infectious and contagious diseases in the last century, and we were so enthused by 1960s, the WHO said we will have health for all by 2000. But what happened? As we moved towards the end of the last century, we found a new challenge, the challenge of the modern health hazards, called today as non-communicable diseases. Asthma, diabetes, hypertension, heart problem, epilepsy, migraine, irritable bowel syndrome, and the host of other problems including HIV, cancer, anxiety neurosis, depression, and schizophrenia, and more and more challenges are coming up more and more. And unfortunately, we have no solution to all these things. All specialists and super specialists believe that we have no solution to this problem. Never think of a cure. A person with diabetes goes to his endocrinologist and asks, "Sir, how long I have to take this medicine?" He says, "For your life." And a person with asthma, once asthmatic, ever asthmatic. Once you have cancer, your days are numbered. Why? Why does this happen? In spite of all the achievements that we have been able to do, with such fantastic understanding about the physical dimensions, you know today what is happening to the body, not only at the brain level with sophisticated fMRI and others, but also endocrine system, all types of biochemical and microbiological things. And we understand what is happening at the DNA level, RNA level, everything. We understand why is this happening. The reason I consider is the knowledge base that we have today is essentially limited to the physical world around. Modern science over 400 years has made us understand almost everything about the physical universe. And we know what every object is made of. Molecules, atoms, protons, neutrons, electrons, fundamental particles, all made of energy, packets of energy called quarks. Therefore, precisely you can calculate how much of energy is in given mass by the famous equation E equals mc square. We also understood the laws that govern them. Newton's laws of motion that we studied in high school is called as classical mechanics. But when you go to extremely high speed, like an electron spinning around the nucleus, Newtonian mechanics will not hold. You have to go to the higher, more generalized laws, like quantum mechanics, special theory of relativity and others. So today, we are fortunate that we understand everything about the physical universe. Our knowledge base is almost complete. Therefore, anything physical has been a big success. Putting man on the moon, building skyscrapers, underwater tunnels, information technology, condensing the whole globe into a small village, and very powerful pharmacological interventions. Then surgeries after surgeries, cornea transplant, kidney transplant, open heart surgery, 5,000 types of surgeries today available. You can replace almost every part of the body. Now we are racing ahead to start the gene therapy to replace even the gene and change your entire behavioral spectrum. All such things we have been able to do because they are all physical. And therefore, our knowledge being total in the physical world, we have the success. What is happening to science? You know, the big book, big wonderful bestseller that came 1972-73 by Fritz Capra, famous quantum physicist from California. He wrote in this wonderful book called Turning Point, which some of the elders might have come across. He says that a time has come where we have to go beyond the physical. Is there something like life or mind or emotions or intellect apart from the physical body and the brain? Can mind exist without the brain? What is the difference between mind, intellect, emotions? Is there something like consciousness from where the whole creation has come? It's into this region that science has to progress, he said. And science everything slowly, systematically, because great rigor and criticality is involved in that. So over the last 40 years since he wrote this book, hardly we have moved an inch. Except to use the term consciousness in even our conferences in mathematics and others, we have not understood even a bit. Therefore, our knowledge base today related to these subtle dimensions of our creation is very, very small. We are still in a very embryonic state. And the modern NCDs having stress as one of the major cause is not merely physical. No doubt a physical trauma can cause many of these problems. Excessive physical strain, computer operations, pregnancy, accident, surgery can all cause stress and stress related damage. But more important is the mental restlessness, emotional upsurges, deep-rooted psychological conflicts, all at the base of this stress. And therefore, it's very, very complicated, sophisticated, multi-dimensional challenge that we are facing in stress-induced disorders, lifestyle disorders, and non-communicable diseases that we are having. Therefore, our knowledge base is one-dimensional, physical, but our challenge is multi-dimensional, physical, mental, emotional, intellectual. How can a one-dimensional solution meet the challenge of this multi-dimensional challenge? That's why we have no solution. That's the reason. Well, if modern science and technology has no solution, what is the way out? It's here that yoga comes into picture. The great contribution of India, Patanjali. What does yoga tell us? Based in the wisdom base of Upanishads, it tells us that we are not just a physical body. The physical body in the physical universe is in the role of continuous change and change and change. Continuously our body is changing. In a day, billion cells get created and billion cells get destroyed. Therefore, since we all came to this hall, all of us bodies have changed. We have all a new fresh body. What to talk about the mind and the emotions and the intellect and the deep-rooted thoughts and others, everything changing. The whole creation is full of change. That's why the great Buddhistic philosopher Nagendra, he said and developed a model, the creation called the Kshanika-vada. Kshanika-vada means everything is Kshanika, temporal, comes and goes. Somebody asked the question, is there something then that's permanent? He did not answer that question. Here the later followers of Buddha in the Mahayana group, they said, no, that is called Shunyata, that's called vacuum. There is a zero, there is nothing that does not change in a sense. But later on as Shankaracharya came and our great masters like Ramanuja came, they said, how is it possible? This fantastic world that we have, the infinite world that we have, can it come out of a zero? Can it come out of a vacuum? Cannot happen. It stands to no logic. Therefore, the original state, the unchanging reality should be infinite. That is called as Purna. And that is our original state. Original state from where all of us have come. The original state from where the whole creation has come. And that does not change. That is the whole essence of the 15th chapter which started. It is called as Purushottama. Is that infinite, all-pervasive reality. Call it as pure consciousness. Or if you want to call and use the technical terms of Sanskrit, it is called Parama Atman. That self of all of us. That's our original state. What's its quality? What is its speciality? It has no birth, it has no death. It is unchanging. It's all pervasive, ever existing. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. Krishna is telling to Arjuna, it doesn't get killed, and it is beyond space-time causation. It's ever existing, all-pervasive, infinite knowledge, infinite power, infinite freedom. Nainam chindanti shatrani, nainam dahati pavakha, nachainam kledayantyapah, na shoshayati marutaha, अच्छेद्यो अयम आदाक्यो अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एवच नित्यः सर्वगतः थाणुः अचलोयम पुरातनः. It is the oldest of the oldest. It is beyond time. It cannot be burnt. It cannot be wetted by the wind. It cannot be burnt by the fire. It cannot be blown up by the wind. That is our real home. I call it as our real home, the sweetest home. And that is the state of infinite bliss. It is the state of all pervasive existence. It is the storehouse of all knowledge. And that's what we all are. That is the proclamation of yoga and spirituality. And therefore, what is the goal of our life? To move towards our real home. We have forgotten our real home. And returning home is the real purpose of yoga. In that sense. And in creation, we have the seen and unseen dimension. The central is the seen dimension, the physical body, and the physical world that we have is called the Annamaya Kosha, the physical universe. But then there are the unseen dimension, that is the subtle and the causal dimension. We have the subtle bodies, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya Koshas, and beyond that we have the causal body called the Anandamaya Kosha. The Pranamaya Kosha is slightly bigger than the physical body. But the Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha are spread everywhere, and it could be called as field. Just like we have electromagnetic field, we have the field of mind, we have the field of intellect, and the field of wisdom are Anandamaya Kosha. Anandamaya Kosha is our causal state from where all other koshas come. The first emergence from the ultimate reality is Anandamaya Kosha. And Anandamaya Kosha is a state of immense bliss. There the mind has not started yet working. And in a sense we are all one in Anandamaya Kosha. And there is no misery, there is no tension, there is no stress in Anandamaya Kosha. And it is a state of transcendence. It is a state of total freedom, and it is from where all of us are born. It's for this reason Swami Vivekananda addressed the audience as brothers and sisters of America. When he said that, it was not just making an emotional appeal to Americans, but it's a essence of the whole of Indian culture, the yoga law. That's what he was doing. From Anandamaya Kosha we come down to Vijnanamaya Kosha, the field of wisdom, in which the knowledge is total now. The differentiation has come now. I am different from you, she is different from him, he is different from her. Starts. Intellect has started functioning. Mind has started coming into action. And though there are the differences now, the knowledge is total. The person in Vijnanamaya Kosha has the complete knowledge base of the whole creation, the past, present and the future. And there is nothing that is unknown to the person. Therefore, every action is governed by the total knowledge base. This is what Krishna says to Arjuna. Arjuna, why are you in such great confusion? Because you don't know what is going to happen to this war. Whether you are going to win or not, you do not know. That's where I know completely what is going to happen in future. What all has happened to you in past. This is called Trikala Gnana. Not only such epic characters as Krishna, Rama, in India, such great masters came back again and again in our country to give us the complete knowledge base. We have one side Shankaracharya from Kerala, we have the Sant Gnandev from Maharashtra, we have the Swaminarayan from Gujarat, Lahari Mahashaya, Yukteswar, host of people from West Bengal, and number of Siddhas from Tamil Nadu, Alavam Prabhu, Raghavendra Mahaswami from Karnataka, and such host of people came again and again, again and again. And that's why India is not just a Punya Bhumi but a Divya Bhumi. It's a divine presence of this great masters. And all these problems are the perfect masters. They are in a state of perfect health, no tension, no stress, and no disease, and they have complete power, knowledge, and freedom that they have. And that I call it the infinite web. Because if you tune there, you get all the knowledge. I was thinking, how is this possible? That you tune, you get every knowledge. Thanks to IT, we have the web. You Google anything that you want, you can get the information. I call that the infinite web. From there you come to the next, the Manomaya Kosha. And in Manomaya Kosha, we become more different. I am different from you, not only because of my thinking, but you have your own likes and dislikes. I have my own likes and dislikes. The preferences change. What you like, she doesn't like. What she likes, he doesn't change. Likes and dislikes change. And slowly these likes and dislikes and preferences become more and more powerful. I like it, I want it. Immediately I want it. And quickly I want it. And that powers themselves into very strong, violent emotions. And it is this wonderful thing that comes up, that the dimensions start coming up. And these things start governing our actions. Governing our actions, and slowly we are drawn to do things which are not right. A diabetic knows, doctor has told that no, you can't eat sweets, you can't eat sweets. But we are so fond. We are in the right party and all sweets are lined up, and you start looking at it. What happens? You are lost. What happens? Your tongue is demanding, come on, go and eat, go and eat. Buddhi is telling, be careful, endocrinologist, you can't do that. So that war, that is called the Kurukshetra Sangrama. And what wins made us? If supposing the tongue wins, eat little bit, doesn't matter. What is there after all? The diabetes you take or the insulin you eat, doesn't matter, he says. And you go there and start eating. So this is what happened. Then you have done something against what is right. And this is called as Prajnaparadha in Ayurveda. That is the beginning of all problems that starts in the Manomaya Kosha. And that slowly comes down to the physical body and starts coming down. And what is the nature of that Adi? That Adi is an uncontrolled speed of the mind. Uncontrolled speed of the mind, having no control, is the Adi at the beginning. And from there it comes down to the Pranamaya Kosha. Pranamaya Kosha is in a beautiful balance, and it's something like taking a big rock and throwing into the thing, everything gets disturbed. Still no disease, no diabetes, no hypertension, no cancer, nothing yet. But already has come down all the way from Manomaya Kosha down to the Pranamaya Kosha. Breathing imbalance is set in there. Haphazard breathing, jerky breathing, fast breathing, left nostril flowing more to the right and so on. It goes on and on. Then it comes down to the physical body and settles down in the Annamaya Kosha called as Vyadhi. Then we go to the doctor. Doctor, I have this problem, I have this problem. So what do we do in the modern medical system? We try to solve the problem by dealing with the symptoms. Very powerful pharmacological interventions and surgery. And we all deal essentially with the Vyadhi, with the disease, and not the root cause. Therefore we have no solution. All these modern NCDs belong to this category called Adhija Vyadhi. And therefore we have no solution. Yoga is the answer here. What is yoga? Not a rope trick or a magic or siddhis or acrobatics or body or the acrobatics of the breathing. Yoga is a way by which we raise ourselves from our animal level to become normal, great, super and divine human beings and reach that perfection itself. Jnana Yoga, Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, the four main streams of yoga as postulated by Swami Vivekananda. We use that to see that we will be able to deal with that. Well, these all good theories are, but what is the reality? I have asthma, can I be helped? Then we started doing our research for the last 25 to 30 years, and it's our speciality. We have dealt with large number of such patients. You could see 200,000 patients have respiratory disorders, diabetes mellitus 25,000, hypertension, ischemic heart diseases, ophthalmic disorders, short sight, long sight, astigmatism, squint, initial stages of cataract, and obesity, back pain, cancer, 350. And everything based on scientific research. We have published nearly 220 research papers in top international, national index journals. This was the first paper that came up in British Medical Journal, most of you know. And the caption was Yoga for Bronchial Asthma. As soon as we got this paper published, we went on getting letters after letters, 1,000 letters from all over the world. And what they were asking, what type of yoga do you teach for asthma? Can we come and learn? Can you come and teach us? Can we have collaborative research? This is how we went global, one single paper. What did we show here? We had two groups. One is the control group, other is the yoga group. 53 pairs, 53 here, 53 here. And it was a 54 months follow. Not after 15 days or 20 days or 1 month. But after 4.5 years, what happened to them? You could see the main parameter is the drug score. How much medication they were taking has increased by 27% in the control group, where it has come down 80%. That is, almost most of them had stopped medication. In spite of that, all their parameters, the lung parameters, PFR, and 60 parameters we measured, everything had improved and normalized in the things. Severity, for example, has improved in the yoga compared to the yoga group. And anxiety neurosis. We wanted to test the hypothesis. When Adi is reduced, whether Vyadhi can come down. How do you measure the Adi? We have got the measures of the Adi, BRS, SRS and PPC. And when these things come down, then medication score comes down, symptom score comes down, clearly showing that the people will start getting normalized. Then what is the bottom line of yoga? Giving deep rest to the body-mind complex. We use here IRT, QRT, DRT in the SMET. And dealing with the cardiovascular ailments, we have the similar results. And you could see just in 4 weeks, you could see that the systolic pressure, diastolic pressure have come down, and the drug score has started coming down completely. And they all stopped medication in 3 to 6 months. Reversing the heart disease. Once the cholesterol deposits in our coronary arteries, can you reverse it? Most people thought it is impossible. But thanks to Dr. Dean Ornish from the United States, he brought out this wonderful paper called New England Journal, in which he has actually shown that it is possible. By angiographic pictures, 90% block has come down by 80%, 80 has come to 70, and normal. Now he has completed this 5 years of study. Should I stop? I started at 9:20. Huh? 2 more minutes. And I will go to the last slide. Cancer. Diabetes, like any hemoglobin, diabetes all over research, rheumatoid arthritis, back pain, yoga for obesity, then we have low back pain, yoga for eyes, yoga for mentally retarded, yoga for IUGR prevention, and the cancer. And you see that we have done wonderful research. They have shown that the terminal case cancers which came up in 1986, 6 breast cancer, throat cancer and bone cancer, they were all almost declared dead. And after declaring almost dead, they came to us. And after continuing the practice of yoga, they are all living today. If you come to Bangalore, I will show them. Dr. Krishna Bhargava, the director of the Gidwai Memorial Institute of Oncology, he was amazed. He gave us 100 cases of cancer, and all of them felt so good. They gave a very good feedback. Then we started our control studies, breast cancer 3 years, and secondary effects of yoga on cancer cervix, so on. And people started coming to our Prashanti Kundiram, they started getting wonderful results, symptom scores started reducing. And what do we do here? Strengthen the immune system, that is the main system. In the modern medical system, we have radiation, chemotherapy and surgery, but here you develop the immune system, strengthen the immune system. How? Reduce the stress. Stress reduces, suppresses the immune system. If you reduce the stress, then immune system is going to blossom and it will gobble up the cancer. That's the main difference that we do here. And we have done RCT trials and breast cancer undergoing radiation, chemotherapy and surgery, and terminal case cancer centers. We measured what is happening to the immune system by cytokine and other parameters. And then we went into understanding of the DNA repair mechanism. We have shown the DNA starts repairing better, and went into studies on apoptosis, in which we have been able to show that the apoptosis also can be considerably improved by yoga practices that we have done. And this is how we have dealt with all number of cases and published the papers, and therefore the integrated approach of yoga holds great promise for all these NCDs, modern things. And our university, having 5 divisions, is dealing with all these courses, starting with the certificate course, diploma course, bachelor's in yoga and naturopathy. Then we have BSc yoga, MSc yoga, MD, PhD, things are available. And we need persons who are retired but not tired to join us. We have collaborations. Collaborations with the biggest of the medical centers like MD Anderson Cancer Center. And so we have taken up in India a big movement called Stop Diabetes movement. We have trained about 700 teachers, and what we want is 1 hour of their regular practice of yoga. If they do that, then slowly the sugar level will come to normal, medication will start coming down, and they can become normal. We have really collected about 2,500 cases so far. We are continuing, and the big curve that's going up in India, we want to turn round, if possible, with our Stop Diabetes movement. We will compile, analyze, and follow up all the data for 10 years. And now we have promotion for distance mode. Being here, you can study and get the diploma and visit us. That's a big glimpse of our Prashanti campus, home-shaped building, and it's the inspiration of Swami Vivekananda that has given all these things. Thank you very much.